Today, I'm going to send my Sims to werewolf training in The Sims 4, and I'm going to show you how I do it. This is without mods, and you can customize how they train and decide what their life is like as a werewolf. This requires some creativity since it's not an actual feature in the game, but I'm going to show you step by step how I do it. Last week, I made a video about how to send your Sims to magic school without mods, and next week will be the vampire video, and today is all about werewolves. This is Alana Volpine. She's the teen wolf that we'll be playing with for this video. Oh, she's smiling. She's happy. She is a pup in the werewolf rankings, which is the lowest ranking. But it's okay, she's going to learn a lot at werewolf training. She has the goofball and socially awkward traits. I feel like she's quite playful and just likes to have fun, and she wants to meet a lot of different werewolves and make werewolf friends. These are her parents. They all live in Moonwood Mill, and her parents are actually lone wolves. They're not involved in any werewolf pact, and I feel like Alana probably met a lot of other werewolves her age growing up since she lives in this community, but they were probably all tied to different werewolf packs, and her family isn't, so I feel like that's why she's socially awkward and maybe feels a little bit out of place. So when she goes to werewolf training, she's really going to want to try to meet other wolves and make a lot of friends and fix her social awkwardness. There are 3 ways to send your Sims to werewolf training. The way I recommend is playing with teen Sims and having them drop out of high school to go to werewolf training, but you can only drop out if you have the Sims 4 high school years. After aging up to a young adult, they can get their high school diploma online. If you don't have high school years, you'll have to wait until your Sims are young adults to do this. However, if you play with mods and you don't want your Sim to drop out of high school, you can use a homeschool mod. Keep in mind, this will make your Sim very busy and tired, so I don't do that method in my gameplay, but it is an option, and then you could go to werewolf training and online school at the same time. So far in the game, my Sim has dropped out of high school and then she moved to an empty lot that was really cheap so that her bills are low each week. And I just pretend that that is her tuition or dorm fee while she's at this school. And now we are at the bar in Moonwood Mill, and the reason we're here is because there's a bunker underground right here. Yes, it is. And there is everything that your Sims need to live here. There's a kitchen, a bathroom. There are 2 beds back here. And there's lots of stuff to do here in the living area. And so this is going to be where my Sim actually lives while she's in werewolf training. You could technically also stay on the library lot in this world, but for the library, you would have to add beds and I think also something to cook with, or like a mini fridge or something, because I don't think it comes with it. And you can always edit the lot using the bb.enable free build cheat. But since the bunker under the bar already has everything, I decided to live here for the video. So we're going to get into the training very soon. It's like 5:30 a.m. here, so I'm just waiting a little bit. But if you watched my magic school video, there are some differences here. I've added more requirements and challenges to leveling up at the school. And instead of doing a 2-day split of classes, the werewolf sim is going to go through 2 levels of school. So you can think of it as 2 years or 2 semesters, whatever you feel like, but it's not a length of time. It's just when they meet certain requirements, they'll level up at the school. Before I give a basic breakdown of the levels, I just want to note that your Sim should have the werewolf initiate aspiration, since that's a part of the requirements. Now you can do the werewolf school however you want. You don't have to use the werewolf initiate aspiration. You don't have to do the same class schedule as I do, of course. You can do whatever you want. This is just going to be an example of how you can structure your werewolf Sims training. So in level 1, they're focused on basic training, giving back to the community, and getting to know the different packs. They have to reach the prime level in order to move on to level 2, so that's this 3rd one here. I thought about doing it at the front level, but from what I remember, it's really easy to get to that level. So it would feel like there's not a challenge, but if you're doing short lifespan or something, then feel free to level up your Sim once they reach the runt level. But if you're doing normal or long lifespan, or you have aging turned off, then I recommend trying to get prime level for their first level of school. And in level 2, they're more focused on advanced werewolf training and also on their specific skills. Now, to pass on from level 2 and be eligible from graduation, I say that they have to complete the werewolf initiate aspiration And I'm saving the completion of this for after level 2 because it requires you to experience a full moon. So depending on when you start this kind of school training, it might not be close to the full moon yet. And the other graduation requirement is that they would have to be at level 4, the veteran wolf. So that will take a while, and so that's why if you do play on short lifespan, or if you don't like to spend too much time with one particular sim, then you could have their graduation requirement be prime. So that's really up to you with how long you like to spend on a particular sim or a particular storyline if you want it to go faster or slower. So the school day is starting around 8 a.m. And for level 1, the first class of the day is to read up on werewolf history and culture. But for the first half of the school day, she's going to be with the Moonwood Collective. And for the second half of the school day, she's going to be with the Wild Fangs. So for the first class of the school day, I'm actually at the library because I need to get some werewolf books. So I'm purchasing a book from the computer. So I'll get this one, Beyond Big and Bad, Rethinking Harmful Werewolf Stereotypes. So the types of books that she'll be reading in this first class of the day are on werewolf history and culture and things like that. Okay, so I got a lot of books for her, but there are still more she can find by scavenging. And now that she has a book, I'm going to go to the Moonwood Collective's hangout spot. If you don't know where that is, you're going to find this bridge behind the library. And then come over here, and where's that tree? Here's the tree. So this is the hangout area. So right now she's reading, but I do want her to meet the other werewolves in the Moonwood Collective. So they're spending equal time with each pack so that they can really make a good choice of which pack they want to join when they graduate. And this is really cool because your Sims do get a lot of pop-ups about like werewolf lore. So it really does feel like your Sims are learning about werewolf history and things while they're reading these books. And now I'm going to have her talk to this werewolf. She's going to ask about being a werewolf because those kinds of interactions actually help build your werewolf skill points. But now it's time for the second class of the day. And for this class, this is very specific to the werewolf pack that we're talking to. So right now it's the Moonwood Collective. And I want my Sims going to werewolf skill to work on specific skills that might be helpful to the pack that they want to join. So for the Moonwood Collective, maybe she'd be into gardening since there's some gardening planters out here, maybe cooking to help contribute to the pack's resources. And since this pack is all about werewolf diplomacy, maybe something like charisma or research and debate could help out. But this time is really just for anything that your Sim could do that's useful to this pack. So they could just contribute pack resources maybe also if you don't want to work on a specific skill. That's something they could do. Okay, so we're working on our logic skill, and I think I'm just going to get her to level 2 since that's pretty easy at the first level. So she's working on logic because this pack loves diplomacy and getting along with humans and other occults. So logic is probably a good skill to have for that. So now for the second part of the day, we're at the Wild Fangs hangout location. So first I'm going to have her meet Rory Oklo over here, who is like the alpha of the Wild Fangs. I'm going to have her talk a little bit about being a werewolf. I'm going to do share werewolf experiences. And then for the third part of werewolf training for level 1, we're going to challenge to tug of war. So that's kind of getting into the physical aspect of being a werewolf. Now, if your Sim hasn't actually been a werewolf before, they'll need to go through their first werewolf transformation before they can unlock a lot of the interactions. So you might just have to wait a day or something because their fury builds up pretty fast when they're a new werewolf. So then once they're a werewolf, they'll be able to unlock a lot of new interactions with the other werewolf Sims. And then the fourth and final part of the level 1 class schedule will be to work on a skill that could help the Wild Fangs. And the Wild Fangs are all about not needing society. They want to just survive on their own, like survive in the wild. So things like handiness, maybe even gardening, cooking on open fires. You could also work on fitness during this time. So I think I will have my Sim work on fitness for this fourth part of the day since it would be kind of relevant to the Wild Fangs pack. So far, the Wild Fangs have been friendlier with her. I was trying to get her to talk to the Moonwood Collective werewolves, and they kept like walking away and trying to leave. So she finished for the day around 5:30 p.m. And now she's back in the werewolf bunker hangout area. So I'm just going to take care of her needs. And then we're going to go on to level 2. So now my sim is entering level 2 or year 2, semester 2, however you want to think of it. She has a couple of temperament things here, and she also has abilities, which you get just by gaining werewolf experience. So she can use Pack Howl. She has night vision, lunar blessing, enhanced smell, the will to resist, and then wolf nap and scavenging. And the abilities are important because for level 2, the first class of the day is working on their specific werewolf abilities. So she might be doing a lot of scavenging, for example. So since I split up the day between their time spent with the Moonwood Collective and their time with the Wild Fangs, we're going to head over to the Moonwood Collective's hangout spot right now, and I want her to scavenge. So she's going to do that for the first class of the day. But I'm also just going to have her chat with the Sims in the Moonwood Collective so she can get to know them a bit better. And there's actually this weird smell thing here. There's like little stink lines coming up here. So I'm going to have her smell that and see what happens. But I'm going to have her scavenge because smelling the ground helped her sniff out a hidden trove. So let's see what she finds. Oh, she found a history of Moonwood Mill. Good job. That's cool. Now for the second class of level 2, she's going to work on an elective. So it's going to be something that she personally is interested in. And I think for her, because she's socially awkward, maybe she would want to work on charisma. There are no mirrors at the library lot, so I'm just going to go into build mode and get one. So whatever your sim is personally interested in, that's what this elective slot in the class schedule is for. Because at a real school, you would probably have some kind of elective anyway, since she wants to improve her social awkwardness and get to know werewolves better. This is another reason I'm kind of leaning toward the Wild Fangs, because they're very energetic and bold and confident, so she might want to hang out with them to bring out those qualities in herself. Oh, hello, werewolf. Oh, that's your dad. Stop scaring your own daughter. What the heck? Now for the third class of level 2, we're back at the Wild Fangs hangout and we're going to work on fitness. Now for the fourth and final part of the level 2 schedule, we're going to do some sparring. However, if you're playing a teen werewolf sim, you can only spar with other teen werewolves for some reason. So there is Jacob Volkov. He's a teen sim, I believe, and he's with the Moonwood Collective. So if your sim has met him, you could just like find him or call him to the lot to hang out and spar together. But I actually placed down a household with a bunch of teen werewolves from the gallery, and my sim has met this one, so I'm gonna have her spar with him. If your sim doesn't know any other teen werewolves, then they could just do challenge to tug of war again with one of the adult werewolves. But we do know a teen werewolf, so we're going to do werewolf spar. Let's see who wins. Get back in there, Lana. Go, go, go. And the other sims are just watching. I love Rory. She's just watching. You have a crush on him while you're beating him up. She got a crush on him while beating the crap out of him. But it wasn't funny. I don't know if it's healthy. It's definitely not healthy. But okay. But it was a friendly spar. You know, they were just practicing their werewolf skills. Look, they're about to hug. But it was went up, like, they're fine. So that's it for the class schedule. And now I'm going to talk about graduation requirements. So just to be eligible for graduation and to move out of level 2, they have to complete the Werewolf Initiate aspiration. And if you're playing a short kind of lifespan or you don't spend that much time with each of your sims, then they should probably be at rank 3. But if you're playing on a longer lifespan, then veteran is probably where they should be. So I'm just going to cheat her to there right now so I can show you the rest of the graduation requirements. So now that she is eligible for graduation, there's 2 other things she has to do to actually graduate and be a full werewolf. And you don't have to do this. Everything I've suggested in this video is up to you to tweak or change however you want. These are all just suggestions about how to make kind of a full class schedule for your werewolves and getting to know the 2 werewolf packs and things like that. So now that she is eligible for graduation, those 2 extra things she has to do. is go through the tunnels. She has to go through the tunnels just to experience going into the underground werewolf system. It's like a way for her to use all of her werewolf abilities. But it was a test herself as a graduation requirement. And then after that, she'll choose a werewolf pack to join. And each werewolf pack has some things for you to do to be able to qualify for the pack. Before I go do that, I just want to add that if you don't like the leveling up system that I showed in this video, then you could just take those two schedules and have your sim follow them every other day. So they're kind of experiencing everything all at once. Then you could do it like that also. But it was looking for the entrance to the underground tunnels. It's right over here. So this is the bar, this is the library, and then just zoom down over here. So it's in these porta potties, but they're called portal potties. So this is like her graduation challenge. One of the portal potty stalls has a graffitied arrow pointing down into a dark underground passageway. As Alana descends, she finds herself deep below Moonwood Mill in what appears to be a series of tunnels. Where do they lead? I don't know, let's find out. Diverging paths. As Alana crawls under a particularly low stretch, she notices that the tunnel splits into 3 paths up ahead. From one path comes a faint but magical-sounding melody. Down another, the lingering scent of garlic. And down the third, a welcoming bit of fresh air on the breeze. I'm gonna follow the magical melody. Tunnel thoughts. These tunnels seem to go on forever, and Alana gets lost in her thoughts. How long did it take to dig all of this? And who covers the maintenance costs? They do maintenance down here, right? An enchanted room. The enchanting music fades as Alana comes to a large, round room with an expansive relief carved into the wall. Embedded, glowing cerulean crystals give off enough light to make out the story within. The artwork depicts a magical conflict between two sides, with some favoring plasma and others who drew power from the moon. I love all of the lore in the Werewolves pack. It's my favorite occult pack by far. It just has so much depth. Leaving the underground, Alana can make out some light ahead. It must be an exit. Well, she finished, and congratulations, Alana. You have graduated werewolf training. I know you're hungry. We'll get you some food. But now, since she has officially graduated, I'm going to have her choose a werewolf pack to join. And you don't have to choose a pack. You could choose to go on as a lone wolf. But I think this sim really wants to be in a pack and make lots of friends. And she got along really well with the Wild Fangs during her werewolf training. And they're like a super sociable, outgoing kind of pack. So I'm going to have her try to join the Wild Fangs. So the first step is to be a friend of the Wild Fangs. So you have to complete at least 3 trials. We're going to demonstrate scavenging as our first trial. We're going to demonstrate pack howl as our second trial. Then for the third one, I'll need to do something. I need a rare collectible or to give her excellent quality food. So I'm going to see if I can find a collectible. I'm going to have her smell here. Okay, we got this spot. So let's scavenge ground. Hopefully we can find a rare collectible. Oh, canine familiar figurine. Okay, uncommon or rare. So I can give her this one. And then we should be able to join the Wild Fangs pack. I'm just going to change her aspiration to be Wild Fang Renegade. Are you impressed, Rory? But it was impressed. Okay, ask to join the Wild Fangs. Before you join, remember that the Wild Fangs stand for embracing all aspects of werewolf life. We value 3 things the most. First, no lazy packmates. You'll actually have to contribute to the pack and help out. Second, stay on that grind. You've got to work to improve yourself as a werewolf. And third, we don't keep our talents limited to Moonwood Mill. You'll need to get out there, expand your horizons, and maximize our impact everywhere. Okay, sounds great. I'm in. Yay! So now my sim has graduated. She got all of her skills. She did all the graduation requirements, and she has chosen to join the Wild Fangs pack. So that's how I do werewolf training in The Sims 4. And I have a few werewolf sims in my own gameplay, so I'm definitely going to make them go through werewolf training once they're teens. So like I said in the intro, I'm going to make a vampire training video next week, and that will also be without mods. I want to make mermaid and alien school videos also. However, those would require mods because the game doesn't really give us much to work with those 2 occults. There's no skill tree or ranking system, and there's not really any lore to learn about them either. So let me know in the comments if you like this video, what you think of it, and if you would want me to make a mermaid school and alien school video, even if I have to use a mod for it. I think I'm able to keep it to just one mod for each of them. There's an expanded mermaids mod and an expanded aliens mod. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in that. And if you like the video, please remember to like and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!